Welcome to video 2 of our College Preparedness Workshop video series. In this video, we're going to pick up right where we left off in video 1 and begin by discussing the 5 steps of the study cycle. Let's go ahead and get started. The image on your screen is a visual representation that we will be using to break down all the different aspects of the study cycle. So what are those 5 steps of the study cycle? Step 1 is preview. The idea here is to preview before your class or before sitting down to read your textbook. Previewing is all about trying to get a glimpse at the big picture. If you were able to see the big picture first, and then after, fill in the individual details, your brain has a much easier and much more efficient time learning that material. So how exactly do you give your brain this big picture before a class lecture or before sitting down to read your textbook? By looking ahead in your book and reading just the section headings, all the bold print, the italicized words, reading any charts or graphs you might see, review summary sections and chapter objectives. All of this will give you an idea of what the class lecture or what you're about to read in your book will explain, and give you the opportunity to come up with some questions you would like the lecturer or your book to answer for you. By doing this, you are priming your brain and preparing it to make deeper connections with the details that will follow. This can easily be done in 10 minutes just before a class session or your study session. The second step of the 5-step study cycle is to simply attend class. Sounds simple and maybe a little obvious, right? Even though your college professor or instructor may provide you with lecture notes from a class afterward, actually going in person or attending an online lecture live is essential at the college level. Lectures from college instructors can be very different from the teachers you may have experienced in high school. They are typically going to contain a ton more information than you will find in any condensed, summarized lecture note packet offered to you. Also, in-person class time or participating live in an online video lecture is the perfect opportunity to not only ask questions about the material, but to also listen to other students ask questions that you may not have even thought of yet. The potential connections that you can make by witnessing these types of interactions live, alongside asking your own questions, can only be done in class. So the first step of the study cycle was to preview before a live class or a self-study session. The second step was to attend your class. The third step of the study cycle is to review after your class is complete. As soon as possible, once your class or your study session is over, you should review any notes you may have taken in order to better remember all that happened in that class or in your reading, and re-explain that information back to yourself. By doing this, you actually enhance your memory of all that took place. Think of reviewing like rewatching a movie you've already seen before. I'm sure you've probably seen your favorite movie even more than a couple times. Haven't you noticed that the second time or a third time you saw the same movie, you noticed things that you missed the first time? Like rewatching a movie, when you review your notes, your brain will see things it didn't see before. During your review, try to remember your instructor's voice during class. Elaborate on the details you didn't have time to write down during class. Fill in any gaps you may have found in your notes, and also take note of anything you may need to have clarified later. Wondering how much time you should devote to reviewing after class or studying? The answer is about 10 minutes. In fact, that's the recommended time for previewing before class or independent study sessions as well. So if you think about it, if you dedicate yourself to a routine where you spend 10 minutes previewing prior to class, attending that class, then spend 10 minutes right after class reviewing, you've just knocked out 3 of the 5 steps of the study cycle with ease. To learn all about the fourth and the fifth steps of the study cycle, along with what are called intense study sessions, please go now to video 3 of our College Preparedness Workshop video series.